This is Dan Wootton, and you're not going to believe what happened this week. We broke a major story about Meghan Markle's secret war with her own mother, Doria Ragland. And within hours, literally hours, Meghan claps back in the most predictable way possible. She posted a video of Doria splashing around in the pool with little Lilibet, desperately trying to prove us wrong. But here's the thing. We know you're watching, Meghan. We know you're monitoring every word we say and your little Instagram stunt. It doesn't change a single fact. So hit that subscribe button right now because this story is explosive. Let me walk you through exactly what happened because the timeline is absolutely damning. Last Sunday, our royal mastermind Angela Levin dropped a bombshell tweet about Meghan Markle's secret war with her mother, Doria Ragland. She revealed how Meghan can't even maintain a working relationship with her own mother, how there's this massive rift that's been brewing for months. And what happened next will blow your mind. Within hours of that tweet going live, Meghan's Instagram suddenly springs to life. Out comes this carefully staged video. There's Doria, sitting in the pool at the Montecito mansion, playing with one of the children, all smiles, everything looking absolutely picture perfect. Now, immediately, the Sussex squad on social media went into overdrive. Resting Dollface and all the other Meghan apologists started saying she just clapped back, she's proving the haters wrong. But here's what I think is really going on. Someone is deliberately planting these headlines for her. Either it's Sunshine Sachs doing their dirty work or it's Meghan herself orchestrating the whole thing. This strategy is genius if you think about it. It keeps all the blame on the tabloids and gives Meghan the perfect excuse to clap back whenever the actual truth starts emerging. And what makes this even more significant is the timing. This more aggressive approach has started at the exact moment that Meghan Markle re-signed with Sunshine Sachs. You know who they are, right? They are the famous Hollywood crisis communications firm, the ones who specialize in dirty tricks, the dark arts of public relations, making scandals disappear through whatever means necessary. These are the heavy hitters you call when you're in serious trouble. So let me take you back to what Angela Levin actually revealed. The information that made Meghan so desperate that she felt compelled to stage this pool photo shoot within hours. Angela painted a very clear picture. She told us that Doria Ragland is fundamentally a very easygoing woman. She likes spending time with her friends. She enjoys doing yoga, staying fit, living life on her own terms. She's relaxed. She's chilled. She's what you might call a free spirit. But apparently Meghan got absolutely fed up with this laid-back approach because Meghan wants her mother to do exactly what she wants when she tells her to do it with no questions asked. And the fascinating thing is, Doria got fed up with it too. She reached her breaking point. Think about what Angela revealed. Doria was incredibly helpful to her daughter. Sometimes she would stay at the Montecito mansion for 3 months at a time, living there, helping out constantly. But she got tired of it because she felt like they were using her way too much. She wasn't there as a beloved grandmother, enjoying time with her grandchildren. She was there as unpaid help. She was expected to go out and do the shopping, come back and cook all the meals, handle all the domestic work that Meghan clearly didn't want to do herself. And on top of all of that, look after 2 small children full time. And let's be brutally honest here. Doria Ragland is not a young woman anymore. She's 69 years old. Can you imagine the physical and emotional exhaustion of doing all of that plus caring for Archie and Lilibet? It's enormous work. It's absolutely exhausting. But here's where the story gets really revealing about Meghan's character. Meghan doesn't want to do all the dog's body work herself. Of course she doesn't. She wants to be the Duchess, the celebrity, the influencer, posting carefully curated content on Instagram. So she got cross with her mother, genuinely angry and resentful, because Doria wasn't there all the time whenever Meghan clicked her fingers. And you see, this is the fundamental pattern with Meghan Markle that keeps repeating itself. She simply cannot make a good, healthy, lasting relationship with anyone because everything has to be done her way. It must be exactly how she wants it, when she wants it, or it's no deal at all. And she gets very fed up very quickly if people don't immediately jump to attention. That's exactly why she's had so many staff members, so many aides and assistants who've quit or been pushed out. That's why reports keep surfacing about Harry being fed up, being exhausted, looking miserable. She's a woman who genuinely believes that she's the only person qualified to make decisions, and everyone else just needs to fall in line and do what they're told without question. So when we revealed this information, when Angela Levin courageously put this truth out there, Meghan absolutely panicked. You could almost feel the desperation radiating from Montecito, because the truth was finally out there and she needed to control the narrative immediately. So out comes the hastily arranged video content. There's Doria in the pool with Lilibet. Then suddenly we get the dancing videos. We get all these pictures of the children, intimate images of Archie and Lilibet that Meghan has always claimed she would never share because she's so protective of their privacy. But that's exactly what Meghan does, isn't it? Whenever there's a headline she doesn't like, whenever the truth starts getting too close, she floods social media with perfectly staged content designed to change the conversation. But let me ask you this crucial question. Do I stand by our reporting even though Doria appears in that pool video? Absolutely, 100% without any hesitation. And Angela Levin stands by every single word too. In fact, when I spoke to Angela about this, she told me something fascinating. She said she was actually being quite nice, quite restrained in her original reporting. She could have gone much harder. Because the reality that Angela uncovered is that Meghan has been very difficult to deal with. But it's not because Doria is problematic. It's because Meghan is impossibly demanding, unreasonably controlling, and completely unwilling to compromise. Doria genuinely tried very hard to help her daughter. She was always there whenever Meghan claimed she was having difficulties. She would drop everything and come running. But she got absolutely fed up when she realized this wasn't temporary. This was expected to go on for months with no end in sight. Because here's what Meghan doesn't understand. Doria actually does like to see her own friends and get on with her own life as well. She's not just an extension of Meghan, not just unpaid household help. She's a human being with her own life, her own interests, her own social circle. And here's a detail that Angela pointed out that I find absolutely fascinating. Meghan calls her mother a free spirit. Now, on the surface, that sounds warm and affectionate, doesn't it? But some people who understand the dynamics find that phrase quite loaded with hidden meaning. Because what Meghan really means is that her mother doesn't organize everything into a rigid schedule with specific times and protocols. Doria is very easygoing, very flexible, and she's made it clear that she's had enough of being controlled and micromanaged by her own daughter. Let me take you back to the royal wedding because this single incident tells you everything about how Meghan treats her mother. Doria was there for the wedding, looking absolutely beautiful, conducting herself with grace, but she was there completely on her own. Meghan didn't arrange for a friend to sit next to her mother. Can you imagine that? Your daughter is marrying into the British royal family, one of the most overwhelming experiences anyone could possibly have. You're surrounded by royalty, by aristocrats, in a foreign country with completely different customs. And you're sitting there completely alone with nobody to talk to, nobody to lean on. Not a single member of Meghan's family that Meghan actually knew was invited. Now, I understand Meghan claims her family is problematic, but not everyone was awful. Yet Meghan didn't bother to make any arrangements for her mother's comfort. And at the end of the ceremony, Doria genuinely didn't know what to do. Angela saw her looking around, clearly very disturbed, very unsettled. And you know who stepped in? Then Prince Charles, now King Charles. What an absolute gentleman. He had Camilla on one arm, and he immediately recognized Doria's discomfort, so he offered her his other arm. He took both women down the stairs and spoke to Doria very nicely, making sure she felt comfortable. But that was Meghan's responsibility, wasn't it? Meghan should have made sure her mother had support, had friends around her, had someone sitting next to her, but she just didn't bother because she doesn't think about other people's needs. And you can see from that one incident how Meghan operates. It must be very moving for any mother when their child gets married. This wasn't just any wedding, this was a globally televised royal wedding. There's your daughter becoming a princess, marrying a prince, and Meghan couldn't even ensure her mother wasn't sitting there alone. That unkind oversight has carried through their relationship ever since, because from Doria's perspective, when she stays with them in Montecito, she feels like she's got to stay in when they want to go out. She has to get the food from the store, she has to cook it all, she has to look after the children constantly, and 2 small children can be extremely exhausting. They require constant attention, constant supervision. So when Meghan probably lost her temper one day, or said something sharp that Doria didn't like, that was the end of it. Doria made her decision. She was going home and not coming back to live there. Now, just to be clear, Doria Ragland is 69 years old. The information from multiple sources suggests that she was spending significantly more time at the Montecito house than she does now. The living arrangement has fundamentally changed. But the fact that Meghan suddenly puts out one carefully staged video doesn't change the underlying facts. And here's something fascinating that people on social media picked up on immediately. Lots of people were questioning whether that pool video was even new, whether it was filmed on the day it was posted. Many people were analysing the weather and saying that on that particular Sunday, it wasn't warm enough in Montecito for outdoor swimming. Now, we can't definitively prove that, but it certainly wouldn't be the first time that Meghan has used old social media content when it suits her narrative, would it? That's one of her favourite tactics. Find something in the vault that looks good and post it at exactly the right moment to counter negative press. But none of that makes any difference to what Angela Levin thinks, and I completely agree. It's almost like you can imagine Meghan frantically calling someone saying, "Quick, we need content right now. Get Doria and Lilibet in the water. Make sure everyone thinks this is what you do every Sunday." But Angela doesn't believe that false narrative for a second. She sees through these transparent PR stunts. She talks to people who know what's going on. She watches the Sussexes carefully, and she felt genuinely sorry for Doria because it must have been hard. Doria was extremely helpful. She entered a completely different world when Meghan married Harry, and she was there to help Meghan navigate it all. And this is what Meghan does. This is her consistent pattern. People help her tremendously, whoever they are. They give their time, their energy, their loyalty, their love, and then she just gets fed up with them. She uses them up completely and tosses them aside like they never mattered. And this pattern is going to become much more prominent going forward because Sunshine Sachs are formally back in the picture. The Telegraph confirmed it with a headline that said it all. Meghan rehires Hollywood crisis comms firm after a string of advisors walk out. The key person managing the relationship is Kelly Thomas Morgan. Now, Sunshine Sachs are absolutely known throughout Hollywood for the dark arts of public relations. These are not your typical PR advisors. These are people who specialize in aggressive tactics, in manipulating narratives, in making problems disappear. We know you're watching this, Meghan. We know you're watching, Doria. And you've just been exposed yet again for lying about how you never know what's on social media, how you never know what's being written. Because it's no coincidence that just hours after Angela Levin and I broadcast exclusive information about the secret war between mother and daughter, Meghan suddenly produced a video showing Doria in her pool with the child who she constantly claims no one is ever allowed to see. So Meghan, we know exactly what you're doing. We see right through it. But we also know with absolute certainty that our reporting is completely accurate, and your desperate clapping back doesn't change a single thing. The truth is out there now, and people are finally starting to see through your carefully constructed facade. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on all notifications because we will continue bringing you the truth that the mainstream media is too scared to touch.